Hello students, so today we'll discuss about some of the specific topics of a belt drive, like ratio of driving tensions for flat belt drive, or that is we can say open belt drive, power transmitted by a belt. Okay, find out what is the angle of contact in case of a open and crossed belt drive. So let us start our session, that is from your ratio of the driving tensions, that is your ratio of driving tensions for a flat or open belt drive. Ratio of driving tensions for flat belt drive. Okay, so here what do you mean by driving tensions? So whenever a belt drive transmitting power from one shaft to another shaft by means of a belt, then these belts are having some tension. Okay, these belts are having some tension, and the tension depends upon the direction of rotation of the pulleys, or you can say that depends upon the direction of rotation of the driving pulley. Okay, so if suppose this was the driver pulley, and this one is the driven pulley, that means this one is the driving shaft and this one is the driven shaft. So here, according to the rotation of the driving pulley, this will be the tight side of the belt. Tight side of the belt. That I have already told you that why it is a tight side, and this one is the slack side. Slack side. Okay, because at this side the driver pulley try to take the belt along with it and release it at this point. Okay, so this is your tight side and slack side. So there is a derivation for that. So tight side tension taken as your T1 and slack side tension that is taken as your T2. Okay, so in order to calculate the ratio of the driving tensions, we have to consider the driven pulley. Why? The reason is that the driver pulley always rotates. The driver pulley that always rotates. But the driven pulley may or may not rotate due to the slip. Yes or no? So it is a matter of fact that here the rotation of the driven pulley is important. What is the reason? Because the driver pulley, it is connected to a source, but here we actually want the rotation. Okay, that's why we have to consider the rotation of the driven pulley and the belt and the motion of the belt over it. So in order to calculate the ratio of the driving tension, let us consider the driven pulley. Suppose this is the driven pulley. Okay, this is the driven pulley, and here, and this is the driven shaft, and then let the belt that touches the pulley at point A and leaves the pulley at point B, like this. Okay, and this side is connected to this side, is connected to what? This side of the belt is connected to your driving pulley. So this is the belt, and this is what? This is the driven pulley. Okay, so you can say that this is the angle of contact of the belt with the pulley, with the driven pulley. This is the angle of contact, so this can be considered as your theta. This can be considered as your theta. So theta is the angle of contact. So you need to find out the driving tensions. Let us consider a small portion of the belt, that is your P and Q. So PQ is a very small portion of the belt. Let this is your P and this is your Q. Okay, so considering the small portion PQ, now the tensions can be shown in this manner as a tangent to the profile of your driven pulley. So it can be shown in this manner. Okay, so this is the small portion of the belt, and the tension at this portion can be represented by drawing right angle to these lines. Okay, so let it is rotating here clockwise. So this is suppose this is P and this is your Q. Now let us consider this is rotating clockwise, so its direction rotation depends upon depends upon your driver. Okay, so that means this side of the belt will be your tight side. So let here the tension is your T1 and this side of the belt is having tension T2. In order to represent the tensions in the small portion of the belt which we have taken, that is PQ, let us consider T be the tension in the slack side and T plus del T be the tension of the belt in the tight side. Okay, so remember that this T1, T2 and this T plus del T and T are different, because this is for whole of the belt and this is for a small portion of the belt. Okay, so here you can say that why I am taking T plus del T, because this side tension will be more, because here also T1 greater than T2. In the similar manner, here the tension in this side, that this is the tight side of the belt, must be more than the tension in the slack side. That means this is, if this is T, then this is del T plus del T. Now we can also consider as the belt is pressed against both of the pulleys, so here some reaction will be there, that is your Rn. Okay, and as it rotating clockwise, so here you can consider the frictional force must be acting in this direction, and let this is your F. Okay, that means to the direction of the rotation of the pulley, frictional force must be acting in opposite direction. Okay, so now if I consider the small portion that makes the small portion of the belt that sustains an angle or makes an angle, that is your del theta at the center. Okay, and each of these angles are del theta by 2, that means here the angle is your del theta by 2 and here the angle is also del theta by 2. Okay, now let us just draw this figure in a very clear manner, only showing the forces. So it can be drawn like that. This is the small portion, here these are the tensions, like that. Okay, I can elongate this like this, and let us as it is very small here, so here our frictional force, that is F, and here this is your Rn, and this angle is your del theta by 2. Also same here, this angle is also del theta by 2. here the tension is your T, here the tension is your T plus del T. Okay, here Rn. Okay, so now what should be the angles? So this is 90 degree, as we know that this is 90 degree. So what should be this one? This is your 90 minus del theta by 2. So what should be this angle? This angle is also your del theta by 2, because this is del theta by 2, this is 90, so this is 90 minus 90 minus del theta by 2. Again this is your again 90 degree, and so this is 90 minus del theta by 2, so this is del theta by 2. In the similar fashion, this is also del theta by 2. Okay, I hope this is clear. Again repeating this one. So here del theta by 2, this is 90 degree. So in this triangle, this is 90 degree, this is del theta by 2. So this is your 90 minus del theta by 2. Again this is 90 degree, so this is 90 minus del theta by 2, so this is del theta by 2. In the similar fashion, so this is del theta by 2, this is your again 90 degree. Okay, so this is your 90 minus del theta by 2, again this is 90 degree, so this is 90 minus del theta 2. So what is the angle? That is your del theta by 2. Hope you will understand this one. So this is your important thing here. Now, so what are the assumptions that we have taken here? That is your T1, that is your tension in the belt on the tight side. T2, that is tension in the belt on the slack side. T, that is the tension in the belt in the slack side for the small portion of the belt PQ. T plus del T, that is the tension in the belt at the tight side for the small portion of the belt, that is your PQ. Theta, that is your angle of contact. Del theta, that is the angle of contact for the small portion of the belt. Okay, now a little consideration will show that this PQ is in equilibrium. It is in equilibrium. It is in equilibrium under the action of following forces. So what are the forces here? What are the forces acting here? So that are, first one, that is your tension. So here you consider small portion PQ, so that is under the action of your T, this T, and the second one, that is your T plus del T. All are forces, so your frictional force and your Rn. Okay, so here you can see that your T is acting, T plus del T is acting, frictional force is acting in opposite direction, and also Rn. So these four forces are acting on the belt. That means here PQ, if PQ is equilibrium, that is PQ is equilibrium under the action of these four forces. Okay, so considering the equilibrium of the belt, of the small portion of the belt, if I consider here summation of Fx is equal to 0, then what we can write? Then we can write Rn is equal to, just see this figure, Rn is equal to, that is your T plus del T, T plus del T, if resolve along your x direction, suppose this is x direction and this is your y direction. Okay, so if you resolve it along your x direction, then we can write T plus del T sine del theta by 2 plus, and this can be resolved along this direction, so that is equal to T sine del theta by 2. Let it be question number 1. Okay, so here one consideration is that this del theta is very, very small. This is one assumption here. So you can write, since del theta is very, very small. Okay, so for small value of del theta, we can write sine del theta is equal to simply del theta. Okay, for small value of del theta we can write sine del theta is equal to del theta. So now the equation 1 can be written as, this can be written as here, that is your Rn is equal to t plus del t del theta by 2 plus t del theta by 2. Okay, so now it can be simplified in this manner. We can write here Rn is equal to t del theta by 2 plus del t del theta by 2 plus t del theta by 2. So here the product of this del t and del theta by 2 is very small, so hence this can be neglected as very small. So now we can write that Rn is equal to t del theta by 2 plus t into del theta by 2, so that is equal to your t del theta, because that is your 2t del theta by 2, so 2 cancel out, so that is your simply t del theta. So that is here you can get Rn is equal to t del theta. Let it equation number 2. In the similar manner, if we again consider the figure, okay, we can write summation of fy is equal to 0. So we can write f is equal to t plus del t cos del theta by 2 minus t cos del theta by 2. Just refer the figure in order to understand this. I am again repeating this one. So here if we resolve it, okay, along your y direction, so you can write f is equal to, that is equal to t plus del t, if resolve is along your y direction, t plus del t cos del theta by 2, and also this one, so this is the in the same direction of f, so minus, or you can keep it in the same side that of your f. Okay, so you can write f is equal to t plus del t cos del theta by 2 minus t cos del theta by 2, that I have written here. Okay, so f can be written as your, that is your mu into Rn is equal to this much t plus del t cos del theta by 2 minus t cos del theta by 2. So again considering del theta is very small, so you can write cos del theta by 2 is equal to 1. Okay, so here you cannot take del theta by 2 because that is for sine, because sine, if you take sine 0 then that will be 0, so we cannot take it 0. That's why that is a sine del theta by 2 is equal to del theta. But if you put the smaller value, the smallest value for your cos del theta by 2, that is your cos 0, then that is equal to 1. Okay, so now putting this value here, so f is equal to t plus del t minus t, or you can write simply, that is your f is equal to mu Rn is equal to, that is from here, okay, that is equal to del t. So Rn is equal to, that is your del t by mu. Let it equation number 3. Okay, so now equating, so now here we have two equations where we can find it these two Rn values. Okay, so now equating equation 2 and 3, we can get, that is your t del theta is equal to del t by mu. Okay, or that we can write del t by t is equal to mu del theta. Let it equation number 4. Okay, so for a small portion of a belt PQ, we can get this equation. Okay, so now integrating both sides, now if you integrate, we can write integration of del t by t is equal to mu, that is your del theta. So mu is the constant, so here we can put 0 to theta, because this is the del theta, that is for your PQ, and for whole of the belt, that is your theta. So that is ranging from 0 to theta. And here, like your tension, the lowest value is your, that is your T2, and the maximum value is your T1. Okay, so we can write so this is equal to ln T1 by T2 is equal to simply mu theta. Okay, integration of del t by t can be given by ln T1 by T2 is equal to mu theta, or we can write T1 by T2 is equal to e to the power mu theta. That is question number 5. So you can find this application in many other things also. Okay, that is T1 by T2 is equal to e to the power mu theta. That is also in our band breaks. Okay, the application can also be found in our band breaks, or we can write in another form, in a logarithmic form, that is your 2.3 log T1 by T2 is equal to simply mu theta. So this above expression gives what? Gives the relationship between the tight and slack side tension of a belt in terms of coefficient of friction and angle of contact. Okay, so remember that is your T1 by T2 is equal to e to the power mu theta. That is the ratio of the driving tensions can be given by T1 by T2 is equal to mu to e to the power mu theta. So next is that is the next topic that we are going to discuss. What is the power transmitted by a belt drive? Power transmitted by a belt. Okay, so it is very simple. If we know that T1 is the tension in the tight side, T2 is the tension in the slack side, so this is the tight side tension, this is the slack side tension. Okay, and let us consider V is the velocity of the belt, that is passing over the pulley. So that is in terms of meter per second. So what is the effective tension, or you can say the driving force acting on the circumference of the pulley? What is effective tension? If T1 is the maximum tension, T2 is the minimum tension, then the effective tension is equal to T1 minus T2. You can write this, or that is also known as your effective driving force, which makes the pulleys to rotate. So we can write hence work done per second is equal to force into velocity. We know that one. Work done per second is equal to force per second. So work done per second, that is also termed as your power. Power is equal to, what is this force? What is the effective force? That is your T1 minus T2 into what is the velocity? Velocity is your belt velocity, that is your V. So that is in terms of your, we can get the unit, that is your tension, that is in terms of Newton into meter per second. Okay, so that is in terms of your watt. So power that can be transmitted by a belt can be given by T1 minus T2 into V, where T1 is the tension in the tight side, T2 is the tension in the slack side, and V is the belt velocity. So likewise, what is the torque transmitted? Torque transmitted on the driving pulley, so that is equal to T1 minus T2 into R1, and torque transmitted on the driven pulley, that is your T1 minus T2 into R2. The torques are not same because the pulleys diameters are different. So here R1 is the what? R1 and R2 are the radii of driver and driven pulley respectively. Okay, so this is about your power transmitted by a belt. The next topic is, that is your, what is the angle of contact? How to find out the angle of contact? That is your determination of angle of contact in open and cross belt drive. So this is very simple. So we have come across this diagram in order to find out the length of the belt in case of a open belt drive. So here the angle of contact is an important parameter for your driven pulley, because the motion of the driven pulley is not that much important, but the motion of the driven pulley where we require the motion is always important. So what is the amount of grip, frictional grip, that is available in the driven pulley? That is always important. Okay, so here this is the angle of contact. Okay, if you consider the angle of contact here, so this is the angle of contact, and here this is the angle of contact, let it be theta. Okay, so this is your E, so this is again your driver, and this one is your driven. So angle of contact is always important in driven, remember that. Okay, driver and driven, let this angle is alpha, that is known to us. So now what I have to do here, that E, that is your G, so it is your F, so this is your H. Okay, we know that this is your what, R1, this is X, in the previous video we have discussed that one, and this is your what is, that is R2. Okay, so if this is alpha, so here also this is your alpha. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to draw a parallel line from this point, and which is parallel to your EF. So I have drawn a parallel line, and here I have given a name M. This is your O1, this is your O2. Okay, so R1 is known to you. R1 is the radius of the driver pulley, R2 is the radius of the driven pulley, X the center distance. And I have already told you if this is alpha and this is alpha. I have already explained it, that is in our open belt drive. If you have not seen that video, then just see that one, how this is your alpha. Okay, so here a little consideration will show that in the triangle O1M O2, if I am taking sine alpha, so that is equal to O1M by O1O2. Sine alpha is equal to O1M divided by O1O2. So O1M is equal to, that is your O1E minus EM divided by O1O2. So O1E is equal to R1 and EM is equal to, that is your R2 by X. So this is your sine alpha. Okay, so we can find out here what should the angle alpha. So alpha is equal to, we can find out, that is a sine inverse R1 minus R2 by X. Yes or no? So angle of flap, so here alpha is not the angle of flap. Okay, here theta is the angle of flap. So angle of flap is equal to, here you can find angle of flap in open belt drive can be given by theta is equal to, so what we can write, this total angle is your 180 degree from here to here, from here to here, this angle is your 180 degree, and here alpha and here also it is alpha. So 180 minus 2 alpha, 180 minus 2 alpha into pi by 180 in terms of radian, if you convert it in terms of radian. Okay, so this is the value for your angle of contact in case of your open belt drive. In the similar manner, if you just derive the angle of lap or angle of contact, angle of lap or angle of contact in cross belt drive, then this value will be, I am directly writing, you just check that one, 80 plus 2 alpha into pi by 180 radian, and here nothing is unknown because alpha we can find out by this formula. Okay, so this is all about our discussion for the today. Okay, thank you.